Hey, you! I need you to hit the subscribe button below.
Unity. Apostles. Yeah. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind. Gotta make the world feel it. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind. Gotta make the world feel it.
I'm not Israelite, but that's what I was trying to say.
So you know you from the tribe of Issachar. Messianic is not, that's something else. That's a white man came up with that. Messianic stuff.
I like that, but how did you get to, how'd you know that this tribe right here belongs to the Mexican tribe?
By the curses. Okay, yeah, so give me the book. I'm going to explain something. Give me the book of Deuteronomy chapter 49. All right? I'm going to explain something to you, all right? And we're going to go to Issachar. All right. Read 1 and 1 first. Deuteronomy 49 and 1.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead. You asked the question, though. I want to, don't go off.
Genesis. I started shooting though, and I left the rig.
Hold on. Let me answer the first question. You're going to something else. First question. Read that 49 and 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1.
Bring it out!
And Jacob called unto his sons.
So Jacob had 12 sons, all right? Listen.
And said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
So, he told his sons what was going to befall them in the last days, meaning what was going to happen to them in the last days. Right. Meaning, you know what the last days are? When this empire is almost over. Yes. All right, read. Go to Issachar.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 14. Issachar.
Okay, Issachar, look on that sign. You see that? Yeah. Listen.
Is a strong ass.
Is a strong ass. Read.
Couching down between two burdens.
Couching down between two burdens. So what does Mexican do when they get tired? They weather, what's the name of the hat? What's the name of it?
Sombrero.
The sombrero hat, and they crouch down, they get for rest between two burdens. It's a burden for them in Mexico and in America, right?
Bring it out!
They try to come here for what? A better life, but it's still hard for them. They got ICE detention centers, locking them up, killing them. But they can't even have a good life in their own land. So you crouch down between two burdens. You building the empire of your enemy.
Right.
You working 7 days a week. Guess what? A lot of the Issachar people claim they making good money, right? But they got to work 7 days a week. Yeah, right. They make just enough to keep working.
Bring it out.
When their kids grow up, they're gonna keep working. Right. They ain't making enough to save up so their kids can live up. No. There's two burdens, you crouch down. All right? That explains, that's part of it. All right? Let me give you another sign. Go to Deuteronomy 28. Is that it?
And he saw that the rest was good.
So he's seen that rest is good. So y'all work y'all butt off 7 days a week, but it's still a burden no matter where you go. You have to pay tribute. You know what that means? You have to pay tribute. All right, and it's a burden. It's a burden wherever you go. It's no rest. No rest. You're constantly working and you crouch down between two burdens, what it's saying.
But the thing is, is that I try to get a job and I try to work, but there's people that are against me. Check it out. There's people that are doing stuff against me and they're keeping me from working and doing my taxes. Check it out, bro. For some reason.
Okay, read that verse. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 16.
So, here's another thing. Here's another curse, because you asked the question. You was like, how we know that Issachar is the so-called Mexicans today. How you doing, bro? All right. Read that.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
The Lord said, cursed shall you be in the city. You cursed in the city. So, what you was explaining is a sign of the curses that are on our people. Why are these curses on our people?
Because drugs, because Evil people because people love greed.
Well, that's a curse. I'm explaining why these curses, greed, evil people, all that is a curse amongst our people.
Bring it out.
Explain why.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
Listen to this. You listening?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Mine's Daniel.
Daniel. Listen, Daniel. You got a mighty name. Daniel in the
listen to the
Bible.
word.
Listen.
If thou wilt not hearken
If you would not listen, read.
unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
So, what you supposed to listen to do? What you supposed to be doing? All what?
Listen to
All his commandments. There you go. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So, why the curses are on you today? Because what?
Because I was born.
No, listen. Read it from the top.
But it shall come to pass,
Listen, Daniel.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Why are these curses on you, Daniel? Because you didn't do what? We didn't keep the Lord's commandments.
That's right.
We didn't keep the Lord's commandments. We are the Israelites according to the Bible.
That's
when we left out of Egypt, out of the Egyptian captivity, the Lord said, if we don't, he made a covenant with the Israelites. If we don't keep the commandments, what was going to happen? All the curses. Okay, curses. All right, go to 16.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Cursed shall you be in the city. It don't matter what city you go to.
Right.
If you can be in Mexico, you curse. You can come here, think you're going to have a better life, you curse.
Okay.
How you curse? They're killing us in the streets.
Right.
We killing each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Discrimination. ICE detention centers.
Bring it out.
All right, keep reading.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
The field pertains to the work environment. As we talked earlier, is the last hired, first fired. And if you do work, you gotta work 7 days a week. If you miss a day, no matter how good you work for them, that's your ass.
Right.
They pay you just enough to keep working. Your kids grow up and do the same thing. You're building the infrastructure of America. You're building their empire. That's a curse.
But once again, somebody is keeping me from getting a job. Can somebody help me out with the job?
I just explained to you why.
I go and I play.
Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
So, you gotta serve. I can't do nothing. You serving your enemy and in want of all things. That's why you say, can somebody tell the white man, can somebody do that?
No, listen, I go and apply, and somebody calls behind me. Somebody goes and calls behind me and tells them that I'm a registered sex offender when I'm not. All right, so they're hindering me from getting a job because they are doing my taxes, and I just found that out recently.
All right, give me Deuteronomy. Give me that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So these curses going to be upon us for a sign and for a wonder. What's a sign?
It's a sign, like God. Like a sign.
Give me a sign. The sign in a literal sense.
They say a sign is like when a
An
star,
actual sign.
when a star.
What's that? Conical.
When a star shines down.
Conical. Is that a sign?
Yeah, that's the sign.
Okay, that's a sign. Easy pun. Is that a sign?
That's the sign.
Yeah, exactly what I mean. Read it again from the top.
And they shall be upon thee
So these curses shall be upon thee, read,
for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
these curses going to be upon you for a sign. So a sign is, if they looking at you and you, like all the stuff you said, sex offender, a sign.
That's falsely accusing somebody.
It's still a sign. And it said going to be on our seeds forever. So, how do you get out of the condition that
Hey,
you're
you
in?
calling me that?
Hey, come here. Hey, Daniel. Daniel. Come here, Daniel. Daniel. Hey, you going off, Daniel. Come here. Come on back over here.
Hey, you don't fucking talk to me.
Hey, Daniel, come on. Hey, back over here. You're losing focus.
I'm not losing focus.
Okay, listen to this.
This guy does.
Okay.
He does fucking sorcery.
Okay,
And he puts curses on people.
Listen, Daniel. Listen. How do we come out of the condition that we're in today? That should be your question. How do we get out of the condition that we're in today?
How do I get out of the fucking...
All of us. How do we get out?
You know what I do?
No. Talk to me.
You know
Talk
what
to
I
me.
do?
No. How can we get out of the condition?
I go to the source and I go to this guy Mike, who has a book of rituals, and his phone's full of rituals. And he had a rig that I used, and he used my blood.
Give me that in.
Listen.
Hold
Before
on.
you start.
Exodus 20.
Listen, please listen to me.
I'm listening to you.
So he had a rig that I used. He used my blood. He used my blood for a curse, and he cursed me. No, I'm telling you the truth.
I'm listening to you. So you talking about sorcery and you talking about all that?
I'm talking about devil worship.
Devil worshiping?
This guy does devil worship.
Okay, go to Leviticus 20:27. Let me show you something about that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Deuteronomy 18.
I know what you're talking about.
Read that.
I pray to God all the time.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 27. A man also or woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones. Their blood shall be upon them.
So read that again from the top.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 27. A man also or woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard.
So a wizard, witches and wizard and all this stuff, that's against the Lord.
Right.
All right? You don't supposed to be doing that.
I do not do that.
All right, go to Exodus verse 20.
I do not do that at all. At all.
Deuteronomy 18. So you talking about it, so you around it? What's going on?
Yeah, my dumbass was wrong because of the drugs. But
Because of what? Drugs. Drugs, that's another thing. That's idol worshiping, bro. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 11. Or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord.
All right, you hear that?
sir.
So you got to stay away from those people. Those charmers of wizards and all that stuff, that's against the Lord.
Right.
Also, drugs. You got to stay away from drugs. That's another thing that's holding us down. Drugs, because what? Your body is a temple of God. You're destroying your temple. You know that? Also, what drugs do to you?
They mix mind and they invite spirits, and it's sorcery.
It is sorcery.
Right.
Sorcery. You're right about that. So the wizard, sorcery, drugs, sorcery. Drugs is an idol as well. You're worshiping that drug. You got to get away from that. You can do that though. You believe you can do that? You didn't start out in this world on drugs. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11. I'll show you something else. Alright? So what's your nationality?
I'm Spaniard, I have a little bit of Irish and Mexican.
Okay, alright. Well, go somewhere else now. Go back to numbers. You said you Spaniard, what else?
Mexican, Escar.
Okay, you is a car. Your father is Mexican. Alright. Give me that number. Chapter 1.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18.
Listen, Daniel.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees.
What's the pedigree?
Pedigree's like their status.
Your bloodline.
They declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
So, you are the seed of your fathers. You can't be mixed. You can't be all these races.
Right.
You're one race.
Right.
So whatever your father, you're the seed of your father.
Mexican.
He's Mexican. All right. So now when you look on that sign, which one would you be?
I'd be Issachar.
Issachar. You from the tribe of Issachar.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right. That's right. All right. Now, you know that. You know you're from the tribe of Issachar, so that's good. You're an Israelite from the tribe of what? Issachar. All right. Now, all right, read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
So, the head of every man is who? Okay. Who's the head of the woman? All right, keep reading.
And the head of Christ is God.
Who's the head of Christ? All right, now listen.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
So, if the word is coming out and the prophecies are coming out the Bible and your head is covered, what you supposed to do? Read it again. Listen.
Every man praying or prophesying,
we're prophesying right now,
having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
So, if your head covered while we prophesying, you dishonor your head. Who is your head? Christ. All right, give that man a hand. Look at Daniel, you pretty smart, Daniel. You don't have to get off these drugs. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. I'm going to give you something else, Daniel, because you need to be on our side. You're a smart man out here on these streets. You don't need to be out here. You need to be with us. Read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
You heard that?
Say it again.
Read it again.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
You know you the temple of God? Your whole body.
The whole body.
You the temple of God. You know that? Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
The Spirit of God dwells in you, Daniel.
Amen. Yes, sir.
Read.
If any man defile the temple of God.
How you defile your temple, Daniel? Drugs. Excessive alcohol. Read.
Him shall God destroy.
God will destroy you. It's going to destroy you if you don't stop. How is he going to destroy you? How does drugs destroy you? What else? Heart attacks. All kinds. Yes.
Heart attacks. Let's see. Brain damage.
Yes. Brain damage. A whole bunch of stuff. High blood pressure. High cholesterol. All that, man. Lung cancer. Cancer.
Teach.
All that. It say him that what?
Him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are.
The temple of God is holy. You are holy, but the Lord can't dwell in you if you defile in your temple.
Bring it out.
The Lord cannot dwell in you. All right? Give me the Leviticus 19. All right, so you shouldn't be on drugs, Daniel. You got to let that go. Here's something else. Give me Leviticus 19. You can't hate your brother. Come on back here, bro. Come on, listen. You can't be distracted, Daniel, now. You becoming holy. If you become holy, listen to this, Daniel. Listen to this.
The book of Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
You can't hate your brothers. You know who your brother is?
Bring it out.
Look at them, son. Look at that. Look at all them names on that sign.
My brothers right there.
All of them.
That's
right.
You see that man right there? Look right there. To your left.
Yeah, he's my brother.
He's your brother. You need to love him like your brother.
I do, but somebody has his eyes blinded. He needs prayer.
Yeah, he gonna wake up though.
He needs prayer. Yes.
Right, but you do too. Read it again from the top.
The book of Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
It say, we shall rebuke our neighbor. What is it saying?
That's how rebuke them.
What rebuke mean?
Rebuke like something straight.
Right, Daniel, you a very smart man, Daniel. Rebuke me, correct your neighbor. You can't let him go around selling drugs. You can't let people go around selling drugs to their people. You can't let an alcoholic just sit here and get drunk that he don't know where he at. You got to correct your neighbor.
Right.
That's love.
Yeah, I have the love for them.
You have to correct them. You can't get mad at them. You got to correct.
They speak false witness.
Listen, we correcting our neighbor. We showing you how to do it. Read.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor,
You shall correct your neighbor, read.
and not suffer sin upon him.
You can't suffer sin upon them. You can't let them sin. Because then their blood is on your hands.
Bring it out.
Read, that it?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Because that's what we teaching our people. That's what the Bible is here for.
Yes, sir.
So you're going to have to gather together with us. Give me Zephaniah 2:1. No, they ain't finished that. Keep reading. Go back to Leviticus. Because you got to know who your brother is. Keep reading.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
So your brother is what? The children of your people, which is all 12 tribes. You from Guatemala and all that.
Anyway,
They're your brothers. They're your brothers.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.